Hey everyone, what's going on? Bahroo here, and today I have the next episode of my Mythbusters series. And in this episode, we're going to be going over Silence the Voices. Is it really 12%? Now we're going to be doing a couple things here. We're going to be debunking a certain, fix to STV, as well as doing a social experiment. So I recommend that you watch this entirely and be sure to, participate in this, because I want to include you guys on this one. Because STV is a mental thing. It really is. STV is 12%. There is no arguing it. It is 12%. But people will say, well, STV, it happened 4 times in a row, and that's like what? That's like 1 in 9,000. There's no way that can happen, right? There's no way. Well, we're gonna put that to rest finally. But before we continue, for those who aren't aware, what is STV? STV is a skill that Krieg has that will massively increase his melee damage at the cost of a 12% chance of meleeing himself in the face. Now, one theory is that after STV goes off, you should wait for its animation to finish before attempting to melee again. And this is not true. This will not decrease your chance for STV to proc again. It has absolutely no effect. It does not store up your melee attacks for the next one. And we're going to prove this right now. So what I have is a macro that will spam my melee button. And it'll be up there in the top left. It'll reset once I hit the macro, but I'm going to let this run for about 30 seconds. And what's going to happen is it's going to continuously try and use my melee button. And if this whole wait for the animation to finish is true, then I should have a never-ending chain of STV, because it'll be using it about 100 times a second. Which at that point, STV should go off. So let's go ahead and see if this is true. We're going to let this run for about 30 seconds. Now, as you can see, I'm not getting these never-ending STV chains that should be happening if this was true. Now, yeah, I'm getting some STV chains, but what's to say that me spamming the button is causing it? There isn't. It's not. Spamming the button does not count. It only tries to melee once. So spamming this over and over and over again will have no effect on whether or not it makes any sort of attempt to try and kill you. So the next thing is the social experiment that I wanted to run you guys through. Now, the reason I say that STV is all mental is because of the way you're only going to remember when STV procs. You're not going to remember when STV doesn't. If I was to go and melee Veracitus 100 to 0 and not have a single STV proc happen, you wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't care. That wouldn't happen. It would just be like, whatever. I don't really care about it. That was awesome. I killed Veracitus. But if I go up to a lowly Varkid and have it proc 3 times in a row, you'll say, what the fuck? Why is STV going off multiple times in a row? This is bullshit. But that's because you'll only remember the bad times. You won't remember the times that it doesn't proc multiple times in a row. So that's what this social experiment is sort of for. So what I want you to do is pick a number between 1 and 8. And the reason is we have this. This is a true random number generator. It will pick a random number it won't have any sort of preference to any number. It will just pick 1 to 8 completely at random. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to pull numbers for about 2 minutes, and I want you to pick your number, and I want you to only focus on that. So if you pick 4, if you pick 7, if you pick 6, then do not focus on 1, on 3, on 8. Just focus on your number and your number only. And I want you to let me know How many times did STV proc? How many times did you get a chain and you smacked yourself in the face multiple times in a row? Because this is a 1 in 8 chance. That comes to about a 12.5% chance. Now that's slightly higher than the real STV, but if I was to go 1 out of 9, then it wouldn't be as high. And I want to keep it simple, so I'm not going to go 12 numbers out of 100. So we're just going to keep things simple right now. So 1 out of 8. So like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this for about 2 minutes. And I want you guys to let me know how many times you smacked yourself in the face. How many times did you chain multiples in a row? Because this is the equivalent of what STV looks like. So let's go ahead and do that. So pay attention to your number and let me know how many times you get a chain and how many times you smack yourself in the face. So here we go. And there we go. So how many times did you smack yourself in the face? How many chains did you end up getting? Did you have multiple STV chains? I noticed that some numbers, I saw 3 proc. I saw it happen 3 times in a row, even though it's only a 12% chance to happen. And that's just how STV works. And I saw some numbers which barely popped up at all during this test. And if I was to run it again, I wouldn't get the same numbers. I would get completely different ones. A different number would have been selected a lot, and the others would have been mostly ignored. And that was a completely random number every time. And if you were that STV, you would have meleeed yourself in the face multiple times, or maybe you just went away without a single melee at all. So I hope that this clears it up for a lot of people as to how STV works. It's just as simple as that. It's a 12% chance. If you melee yourself multiple times in a row, then that's just how RNG works. You could have it to where I melee myself in the face all the way from 100% to death. I could have that happen. Or I could have it where STV never procs, ever. And that's just how it is. And like I said, if I was to run those numbers again, we would get completely different results. You pick your same number, you will get different results next time. But anyway, that has been today's Mythbusters episode. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know that you're enjoying this. And if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see on Mythbusters episode, then please let me know and I will try and cover it. But as always, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Later. Tried to kill myself. Wait. Yeah. Later.